Hello, precious souls of prophetic. My name is Marion Blin. As you'll hear right away, I'm French. I'll keep this simple. I'm not particularly drawn to introducing myself, not because I'm closed, but because I don't believe a fixed presentation can ever capture who someone truly is. My allegiance is to truth as a frequency. I trust that you'll feel who I'm meant to be for you through resonance, not labels. I've been evolving in Chelsea's and Oren's frequency for about a year now, through group and private containers. And if I had to name what drew me there, consciously and unconsciously, it would be integrity. And this message was actually activated during a recent one-on-one session with Chelsea. And what opened for me in that moment is what I'm choosing to offer you now. So I'm recording this in early January. I'm well over 8 months pregnant with my second child, which means birth could begin any day. And during that session, Chelsea reflected something back to me. She said that throughout this pregnancy, I had navigated big uncertainty. I had followed deep intuition. I had made huge leaps. And yet, I had never once come to her about my birth. Not because of avoidance, not denial, not disconnection, but because I was unshakably solid, almost self-contained. She said she could feel I was the epicenter of peace when it came to natural birth, so embodied in that certainty that it almost became inaccessible to others. And it struck me deeply. When something is the most alive in me, the most sacred, the most intense, I tend to live it so fully for myself that I don't even think to share it. Not because I'm protecting it, not because I'm afraid, simply because I don't feel the need to convince, to prove, to change anyone. And yet, now I realize sometimes not sharing isn't self first. Sometimes it's self editing. So today, I'm choosing to offer what lives behind the unshakable peace I carry around birth. Not as a method, not as an advice, but as a remembrance. I actually started very far from here. I was the woman who didn't want children, truly. To me, birth felt violent, repulsive, a kind of gender injustice. I used to say we had invented the iPhone but still hadn't found a way for women to give birth without pain. So when I got pregnant for the first time at 35, it wasn't consciously planned. And my immediate reaction was panic. My human self performed the whole drama, calling a friend who had had an abortion, booking appointments, saying very clearly that I wouldn't keep the baby. And at the same time, something else installed itself inside me, a quiet certainty. So it took me 48 hours to surrender. Not because my mind was ready, but because my body already knew, my soul already knew. When I said yes to that first child, I made a radical decision. This pregnancy would not be lived from sacrifice. Motherhood would not mean abandoning myself. I would live it for me first. And that decision didn't just change how I gave birth, it changed my entire life. Within a year, I left a secure, flourishing career. I left my country, my familiar world. I followed the most burning desire I had never dared to follow. And 1 year later, we had built our home in the Costa Rican jungle where we now live. That first pregnancy initiated a complete rebirth, and it led to a first birth that actually felt divine. So, what it is really that I have transcended around natural birth? For me, the key is extremely simple and extremely radical. There is no path to a natural birth without suffering other than fully passing the baton to the divine. Not partially, not intellectually, fully. The human alone is not designed to hold the intensity of this portal. Birth is not just physical, it's multidimensional. It is the paroxysm of the feminine, the peak expression of receptivity, of surrender, of becoming the vessel through which life moves. Pain is information. Suffering is resistance. The intensity of birth is real. It's inevitable. It is the most extreme physical experience a human body can undergo. But suffering arises the moment I interpret that intensity as wrong, as dangerous, or something to fight. To me, the most accurate word is not pain, it's intensity. Intensity that mobilizes every cell of the body. And it sends a very clear message to the mind. You are no longer needed here. Birth is a portal you cannot fake. Living even 1% of resistance is the same as living 99. Because suffering enters through interference. From the moment labor begins, there is nothing to do, nothing to force, nothing to control. It is pure yin, pure receptivity, openness, allowance. And because that level of surrender is complete, the yang energy responds. Concretely speaking, physiology follows. The hormonal cascade activates, the tissues soften, the bones open, and the uterus, the most powerful muscle in the human body, does exactly what it was designed to do. It guides, it births. Isn't it fascinating? The paradox that for the most intense physical experience your body will ever go through, there is actually nothing to do. Just witnessing the divine at work inside your own body. And this is the remembrance this whole transcendental portal is here to activate within us women. The feminine doesn't transform matter through force. It transforms matter by opening to the divine flow, by becoming passage, vessel, channel. Oh, one final nuance here. This truth applies to all of life. Love, creation, business. And yet, we each come here with specific wounds to transcend. Those wounds create layers, fields of interference that veil our natural remembrance. On this subject of the birth, I don't carry those layers. I remain in a divine state of being, an absolute knowing that everything is taken care of. And because I live there, I can offer this remembrance. not as a formula, not as a comparison, but as a living reminder of what it is to be without interference with the divine. And before I close, I want to name my gratitude for Chelsea and for the field you are all holding here together. Honestly, I considered waiting to share this, waiting until after my second birth. And then I felt it clearly. This is meant to be shared before, to stand in this peace, in this absolute faith, while the portal is still in front of me. I don't need to know how this birth will unfold to embody trust. Each birth is unique, and I'm fully ready to meet what I am here to let die, and how I will be reborn, whatever the next portal brings. So I wish you the most exquisite year, and now I return to this passage to meet my baby.